Nerd Girls, and today we're going to talk about Emerald City Episode 3.
First, we want to thank one of our YouTube commenters, Man of San, for letting us know that Tip is actually from book 2 of the 13-book series, and that she is the Princess Ozma of Oz. So
in case you were wondering who the heck is this extra character, if you've only seen the films and every rendition of the films that they've remade into infinity, it's from the books.
It's from the books. So
she's
we're
from the books.
Super excited about that. Obviously not the Tin Man like we were thinking
last week.
I think we're pretty clear that the Tin Man is
Tip, not Tin. We were not sure about what they were saying with the name,
but we're definitely
no subtitles.
Pretty sure that it's Faith's theory about the Tin Man being the guy in the tin suit that's following them.
Yes, that wants to kill them.
Yes.
So I had a few little hiccups on this episode, which was called Mistress New Mistress. Interesting name. When they're in the carriage ride and they're like, oh, the Witch of the East, the merciful, such a shame she was murdered. I'm like, does no one remember the mud dungeon?
But I don't know if people know about the mud dungeon. Like that seemed like a secret cave kind of thing.
So if one of your family members got yanked into the mud dungeon,
personal relationship with someone in the mud dungeon, I'm sure they're like, but
I just feel like that wouldn't that get.
I don't think so, because if you think about that mud dungeon, there's probably maybe a maximum of 20 people in there.
Was that acting or just casting? They're like, we don't want to spend money on a giant mud dungeon.
That's it. So really, if you think about it, that's out of all that land in the east, they probably don't even know. They just think she controls the weather and that she keeps the weather all nice.
She just keeps the weather pretty and occasionally selects someone for her mud dungeon. No big deal.
Wasn't it that you were saying that they perform magic?
It was the punishment for anybody that performed magic.
Right. So that makes sense. So if you have any magic users in your family, you probably don't like her very much.
Then you fear the mud dungeon. The beat after that I thought was interesting was the little boob glance that Tip got from her friend, her coworker.
Oh, but that kind of goes into my theory.
Well, let's talk about
my theory.
Because I was like...
Okay, but see, this is the thing, is that, we're kind of skipping to the end for this theory, but she, he tries to kiss her, and she pushes too hard, and he falls off the balcony, and looks like he dies, but they don't really say for sure. I don't think...
Costly kiss.
Yeah, I don't think he died, and it's not just because IMDb says he's in all 10 episodes, although that's kind of
and he's in a lot of the photos for the...
Yeah, he's in the poster.
Yeah.
But, so I was thinking that, and I have no idea, this could be in the books, I haven't read the books, so I don't know, that since he was the one who was trying to help her escape, that he knew who she was already, and that maybe he could have been betrothed to her, I don't know, or maybe he's a bad guy that's trying to get her.
So you're saying he knew that she was the Princess
Ozma
of Oz?
Yeah, because he really just jumped right into she's cute,
Yeah,
he
was just like,
ooh, you're my best friend. He's
liking this.
Right.
Well, let's make out.
It's like, he finally was like, oh, finally she's herself again. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I guess if you know somebody for a long time, you free them, and all of a sudden they turn into your version of the hottest thing ever.
The next day you're like, I'm into you.
I don't know. I'd give it to him. I don't know. If I did a wand and you looked like the actor from Lucifer, I'd be like, so what are you doing later?
And we get along really well.
So the other thing that bothered me was the Tin Man. I'm just going to call him the Tin Man, just the armored guy from Oz hunting them. When he comes out of the carriage looking for them, he announces, "Find the girl, she must die."
Yeah, that was convenient.
Really, it's just bad writing. The other guards already have their orders from Oz, as well as him, and their orders were find her, kill her. They made it very clear in the first episode or so. So for him to announce to everyone, find the girl, she must die. And with writing, it's especially scripts, you have to be so picky with dialogue because you only have so much space. Sometimes it gets into word counting where every line is really important, and to have just the throwaway line, just so Dorothy could be like...
It sort of seems like a studio note.
He wants to kill me.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's a studio note where they're all like, she's not going to know for sure that he's after her, so make it clear.
I thought maybe he was going to slash up the cart, kill some random civilians, and they could see, oh, this is a bad dude.
Well,
but instead, he's like, announced to you who are hiding in the bush.
Yo, over there.
Dorothy in the bush. We're gonna kill ya.
Or like you said, beat somebody up and say, where is she?
Yeah.
Then that gives you
so
the
I can
same...
slit her throat, or, if they want to have him.
Just like, where is she? I'm gonna, I mean, that's enough to realize that he's after
bad guy.
you. Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
So, yeah.
Heartless, even.
It's a little exposition-y.
Tin Man. Yeah. So that line just kind of like a worm through my brain.
Ow.
And into you. Now it's your problem. I thought that the witch suicide was kind of cool.
That was cool.
They're all up there doing their thing, which we saw the Witch of the West do with them
and then the
last time.
Yeah,
and then
cool.
they were like, midair hang with no rope.
Yeah, and that Anna said that it was the beast or whatever that did
because
it, not...
the three...
Mm-hmm.
What do they call them? Prostitutes?
Yes.
The three ladies of the night that only dealt with impotent men.
Right.
So the beast was kind of being like, I know you can't get those statues up anymore. I guess that was the subtle, subtle hint.
Yeah. It was cool because I did love the fact that Anna throughout, is right. So we don't really know if where her head's at. Is she really working for Glinda? Is she just literally that perceptive, intuitive?
Right, is she special?
Is she special? Yeah, because Elizabeth seems to be getting it all wrong. But again, is that on purpose?
She like looked to the left while her and Glinda are doing stuff over in the right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a possibility.
It's kind of nice then to have both sides. I mean, they're both predicting doom and the beast, but
either way, the beast is coming.
Yeah,
it's like 3 days earlier, 4 days late. It's like it's kind of semantics,
but
ladies.
Visually, it was pretty cool to have the snow, though.
Yeah,
because he's all like, "I'm throwing you in the dungeon because it's never gonna snow," and then he's like, "Oh shit, it's
slow
snowing.
hand in the snow." Yeah, where is the bathroom in there? I was thinking in her nice robe
in the corner.
Oh, it's uncomfortable. That's what she exactly looks like.
Like, oh, man.
So the next beat is when Dorothy and Lucas are walking through the desert to go to the Witch of the East's castle because there's a tornado there, and she's like, "That's my ticket home."
Yeah.
And Lucas says, "What if it kills you?" And she said, "I'd rather die trying than never get a chance to see her again," because she's talking about her mom.
Is she talking about her mom or is she talking about her family?
That's the problem. Do we know?
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong. The last time she saw her mom, there was a dead cop in her trailer.
Yeah, she was just kind of like...
There was a dead cop in her trailer.
Yeah.
So she talks about that. My mom, and I just found her. And then they have a beat, and then she says that line of like, it's better to die rather than never get a chance to see her again.
Right.
And it's like, I hope she's talking about the woman who raised her rather than the mom with the dead cop in her trailer, because that looked kind of shady.
Yeah, I would imagine because she doesn't really know her mom that well. So unless they're going to build that later, unless she meant because, I mean, it was an emotional moment, like you said, but it's like, so it shouldn't be as emotional if she really kind of just wants to see her to ask her questions.
Who's the dead cop in your trailer?
Well,
question number one.
Well, I guess it was before she found out that her mom had been to Oz or is from Oz.
That's true. But she makes that statement before she finds out my mom has been to Oz, which does bring me to some of the next points. So the guy guarding the Witch of the East's castle, faith and fealty to the end. Are you my new mistress? It's like, what?
Well, but once it's transferred over, that's who his next mistress is. So that didn't bother me.
It bothered me because he's like, faith and fealty. Oh, you're the one wearing the magic gloves now?
But that's his only fealty, is to whoever is in charge.
But then when he finds out later
that she's faking.
And she killed her. Right.
Because he had always, remember he said there are rumors of an apprentice or whatever, whatever he said.
Right.
But, and so to him it was validation because otherwise he's just standing in front of a castle until he dies.
Out.
Yeah. So I think for him it was hope, you know, that, oh, this is the woman we've
You
heard
control
about.
the weather.
Yeah, and that made me think. So that didn't bother me. That made me feel like, you know, the guy is just sort of lost and he really needs a purpose. I mean, he's sort of that kind of guy.
Well, I guess that makes then the next part kind of makes sense. I didn't like it, but maybe it was okay to you. When he's holding the swordsman's throat and he's like, "You're a spelunker, or you've just taken this from my mistress." And she's like, "I'm sorry, just don't hurt him. I lied. I'm sorry." And then he's like, "Okay." And then he goes down with the ship. You guys run away. I'm going to just deflate and be eaten by the tornado thing.
But I think that
just ate that spot.
Goes into his character that he was talking about. He was sort of lost and purposeless without his mistress. And then when he finds out that not only is she not the apprentice, but she's not going to fix the weather, she's not going to do all these things, she just basically killed his mistress and has her powers. At that point, he has nothing to live for.
But at that point, when he revert back to that faith and fealty, I'm gonna chop you guys down, he's just
His
like literally has the
she's gone.
The sword at the Lucas's throat.
I didn't mind it because he's just
like,
already seemed kind of lost since they got there. So for him, I think he was over it.
For me, I was like, dude, make up your mind. You're gonna kill them. You're not gonna kill them.
He's like those women in the beginning that hung themselves. He's over it.
Well, and also I didn't like that Dorothy asked Lucas to surrender a sword when she's like, trust this random dude in this foreign castle. Give up your sword. I was like, they even had Lucas bring it out. Like, if he attacks you, what am I going to defend you with?
She does have a gun.
But that's true. She's like, give up your sword. I got a gun.
Like, we don't need no stupid swords. I'll just shoot his brains out like I did his mistress.
Give up your little
let me show you how your mistress died.
Click
Hold this. It'll pull the trigger. And he's like, what? Oh.
Yeah, I guess. When you have a gun, you can tell your...
In Oz. When you have a gun
a handsome man companion that he can give up his sword.
He can give up his sword. It's really not important.
We don't even need that pig sticker.
How many bullets do I have left?
That's what I would be counting. He wasted one on the beach. I was like,
I know.
We're in another...
He could have shot himself,
I'm not going to be able to get another one of these.
Yeah.
A clip. They're not going to have clips lying around.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so also, I'm just going to harken back to our other thing when we talked about the robe. I was so hoping when Dorothy went in there and he's like, pick your elemental outfit, that there would be another robe in there.
Although it did have floaties.
Wanted to see it again, just for her to walk out and be like, whoa.
It did, really. When she walked out on the water, it was like
a scarf. She got like a spider scarf.
She's the apprentice. Yes.
But I did want to say that I like all the costumes in this show.
Yeah, they're fun.
They are. Aside from the slow motion capes, I think the costumes are really cool. The giant dome things for Glinda's
witches,
Children of the Damned, Children of the Corn. I think that's really great.
Yeah.
And then, the world, they really do a good job setting up a fun, interesting world with its own rules. I also like that the guy says the Wizard of Oz brought the interloper here to send her back, which is Dorothy's mother. So she's like, oh, my mother was brought here. The Wizard of Oz sent her back. So it clips with her marching off like, I'm going to the wizard, which is the purpose that was missing in the first 2 episodes. So in the first 2 episodes, she's going to see the wizard. Why? Because that munchkin guy, Ojo?
Ojo.
There we go. The the munchkin guy, which we're thinking those are the munchkins because typically that's who she first meets in Oz. So the munchkin guy is like, you have to go pay your reckoning to him. And she's like, all right, I guess I'm in an alternate world. I'm going to go pay my reckoning to the wizard. Which didn't make any sense. It makes sense now that she's going to see the wizard when she's like, you knew my mom.
Well, no, she knows.
You sent her back.
She knows the wizard is going to kill her because of the Tin Man. So I don't remember her saying she's going after the wizard.
Yeah, that's why she gets up and she walks near the end and she's like, going to get the wizard.
She's going to try and kill her.
Yeah, that's because Lucas is like, are your questions or are these things worth it? And she's like, yes, basically. And she marches off to go find the wizard.
Oh, I guess I missed that. We'll have to check that out. I don't remember it.
It happens. The beast kills witches too.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Because in the first two, they're like this beast came and the Wizard of
Right.
Oz had to save
shut down
everyone.
with his giants.
Right, with his giants, but the witches were kind of like, F you banned magic. So you're like, oh, maybe the beast was connected to magic.
Right.
But then when the Witch of the West is like, I hate magic, it killed all of these witches. So it's like, so the beast doesn't care. The beast just kills witches and non-witches.
Right.
So then why did the Wizard of Oz ban magic, and why does he treat the witches like the prostitution ring that the Witch of the West apparently represents?
Yeah.
So why did they get the...
Well, maybe the beast is magic or used magic, so just magic in general. But you'd think you'd want to develop that in case he ever came back. But he doesn't have magic, so that's probably why. Because they did establish pretty well in this episode that that he wants people to believe a certain thing about himself.
Right,
and
he
that
wants
to be
complete
in
and
power
absolute control.
So the only way he can get that
thing.
is no magic.
Yeah, initially in the first two episodes, I thought it was a beast thing. He's like, oh, the beast is connected
But now
to magic.
we're kind of finding out he didn't even know how to control those giants, and that he kind of
he
just
has to
like,
go.
oh.
They say what it is. The prison of the abject controls the giant. He has to go to the prison of the abject to control the giants.
He has always locked off that they had their funeral in.
Right. So he just wanted to take a peek in there during the funeral and be like, hey guys,
I'm not sure what's
where'd
going
my
on.
giant puppet things? It's like, where was that joystick I left here like all those years ago? Who knows?
Yeah.
Overall, it's still a really interesting world. I think it'll be worth finishing this season of watching Oz just to see the wildness they come up with.
If that's all that, because we don't even know if it's just going to be 10 episodes and that's it, or if they're going to even have another season. So either way, we're in for the whole season.
So
thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
And if you want to read anything else or watch anything else, we have our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to, and we also have our website, www.2nerdgirls.com.